Welcome back to PC, Police Chase, where one split-second decision can change everything. What you're about to see escalates fast, turns tense, and delivers unexpected moments until the very end. If you're ready, let's get started right now. In Brooklyn, Ohio, a traffic stop involving a truck quickly escalated when the officer realized the driver was a wanted person. When the officer opened the cabin door and tried to remove the driver from the vehicle to take him into custody, the driver suddenly hit the gas and fled, causing the officer to become trapped and dragged for a short distance before falling onto the roadway. After the driver dragged the officer, the Brooklyn Police Department immediately initiated a pursuit. The truck continued through city streets, weaving through traffic and refusing to comply with signals to stop. Because the driver's actions had already created a direct danger to the officer and other people on the road, pursuing units quickly worked to stop the vehicle. An officer following behind rammed the side of the truck, causing the vehicle to lose control and become disabled. Moments later, multiple patrol vehicles surrounded the truck. When the driver still refused to get out on his own, officers broke the window, opened the cabin door, pulled him from the vehicle, and placed him in handcuffs at the scene.
Get out of the fucking car! Here, I got it. Hold on. Stop. I got it. Go turn that off. Right. All right.
The driver was identified as 34-year-old Thomas LaForce. After being arrested, LaForce was taken to Metro Health Medical Center for treatment of his injuries before facing prosecution. Two other officers also suffered minor injuries during the takedown, were treated, and later released. LaForce faced serious charges, including aggravated assault on a police officer for dragging the officer with the truck, along with felony fleeing and eluding law enforcement. A traffic stop involving a wanted suspect turned into a dangerous pursuit, ending with a disabling ram, shattered glass, and the driver being pulled from the cabin. At approximately 7:35 p.m. on the 8th of August 2025, on US 1 SR5 near mile marker 95 inches, Key Largo, Florida, a Florida Highway Patrol trooper with Troop E spotted a gray Toyota Camry traveling 74 miles per hour in a 50 miles per hour zone. When the trooper activated his lights and siren to initiate a traffic stop, the Camry initially slowed down but did not pull over, then suddenly accelerated and fled southbound.
Yeah, go ahead and stick the inside, slow down. We got the boss in here. Alright, you going? Alright, we are unsuccessful pit from 16. We're still southbound. I'm going in for another one and see if this traffic's here. Stop at the Bowmore at the red light. Alright, you're going in for we're still southbound at the Bowmore.
During the pursuit, the Camry reached speeds of up to 118 miles per hour, repeatedly using turn lanes, driving on the shoulder, running red lights, and at times entering oncoming lanes. The driver also threw a beer can out of the window while fleeing. An FHP patrol vehicle attempted to intervene but was unsuccessful and sustained damage, while the Camry continued through Islamorada into an active construction area, and then forced its way across the Snake Creek Bridge by driving on the shoulder. Near mile marker 87, deputies with the Monroe County Sheriff's Office deployed spike strips, deflating several of the Camry's tires. Even then, the driver continued trying to keep the vehicle moving. Near mile marker 85, after confirming that the oncoming lane was clear, an FHP trooper performed a pit maneuver, disabling the Camry and bringing it to a stop. When the driver got out of the vehicle, he initially refused to follow commands and appeared to move toward officers before being subdued, taken to the ground, and placed in handcuffs.
All right, sit down, young man. Don't worry, I've been in here before. Before Highway Patrol or someone else? Jupiter Police. Yeah, what was the goal? You got away? You ran for some other troopers?
I ran two of them off the road.
Made a dime over on a fish company. Almost there.
I was trying to get to Chica Lodge.
What?
My reservation. I almost made it.
You're funny, bro. You could have hurt some people, though. And some people
I'm
kids.
glad I didn't hurt anyone.
I'm glad you. Thank you for being here.
But fuck you, I don't care. Fuck cops.
I'm gonna roll the window down.
The driver was identified as Glenn Saltz Jr. When he was arrested, he showed signs of impairment, including slurred speech, red and watery eyes, droopy eyelids, and a strong odor of alcohol. Inside the vehicle, police recovered multiple opened and unopened beer cans. Saltz Jr. admitted to using alcohol, marijuana, and prescription medication before driving. Breath tests recorded results of 0.027 and 0.025, but he refused to provide a urine sample. After being taken to the holding facility, Saltz Jr. repeatedly said he wanted to kill himself, tried to run into the roadway, and spit at an officer, forcing police to use a spit mask and handcuffs. After a medical evaluation, he was taken for a Baker Act assessment and faced charges including fleeing from police, DUI, reckless driving, speeding, and multiple other traffic violations. A speeding violation in Key Largo turned into a 118 miles per hour pursuit through the Florida Keys, ending with spike strips, a pit maneuver, and a mandatory mental health evaluation. At approximately 2:16 p.m. on the 10th of April, 2025, on US 441 North Orange Blossom Trail, just north of Junction Road in Zellwood, Florida, Corporal C. Brinson #5379 with the Florida Highway Patrol spotted a white Genesis G70 with Florida plate Z839KH for a front windshield tint violation. When the trooper activated his lights and siren to initiate a traffic stop, the Genesis initially pulled into the Circle K parking lot at 2691 North Orange Blossom Trail, but moments later, the driver accelerated away southbound on US 441. The Genesis weaved around multiple vehicles before turning onto Junction Road, where the driver pushed the speed to more than 90 miles per hour in a 35 miles per hour zone. When turning left onto West Ponkin Road, the car lost control and damaged 4 mailboxes at 4,850, 4,861, 4,868, and 4,900, causing damage to the right rear wheel. Despite that, the driver continued fleeing, running stop signs, speeding, and at one point driving the wrong way on US 441. Due to the dangerous nature of the pursuit, Corporal Brinson moved in and performed a PIT maneuver, forcing the Genesis to stop along the grassy median on US 441. As soon as the vehicle stopped, the driver opened the door and threw a brown backpack into the southbound lanes. Corporal Brinson drew his duty weapon and issued commands as the driver stepped out with his hands raised. The driver was taken to the ground, placed in handcuffs, and arrested at the scene.
Was there any outstanding?
The driver was identified as Sidney Paul Hayes, born the 4th of February 1990. After being read his Miranda rights, Hayes stated that he fled because he believed his driver's license was suspended. Deputy B. Wampler with the Orange County Sheriff's Office recovered the backpack that had been thrown into the roadway, and inside it was a bag containing a large amount of marijuana. During the search, officers also found marijuana, a digital scale, plastic bags, $2,869 in cash, a white powder that tested positive for cocaine, along with 2 blue and red pills and a container of yellow wax, which were sent to FDLE for testing. Hayes was taken to the Orange County Jail and faced charges, including fleeing with serious danger, leaving the scene of a crash involving property damage, trafficking in marijuana, trafficking in cocaine, possession of drug paraphernalia, and destroying or concealing evidence. A front windshield tint violation turned into a pursuit at more than 90 miles per hour, 4 destroyed mailboxes, a PIT maneuver, and a drug-filled backpack thrown into the roadway moments before the arrest. At approximately 3:39 a.m. on the 27th of November 2025, on Daniels Parkway in Fort Myers, Lee County, Florida, a Florida Highway Patrol trooper spotted a white Toyota Camry traveling about 100 miles per hour in a 45 miles per hour zone. When the trooper activated his emergency lights to initiate a traffic stop, the driver failed to comply, ran a red light at Gateway Boulevard, and continued fleeing eastbound on Daniels Parkway.
98, 100, 102, 25, Victor Yankee, Delta Mike, H5, Victor Yankee.
During the pursuit, the Camry maintained speeds above 110 miles per hour, sped through multiple intersections, and at one point entered an oncoming turn lane on SR 82, creating the risk of a head-on collision with other vehicles. Because the driver continued accelerating and showed no sign of stopping, multiple FHP units were dispatched to assist in bringing the vehicle under control. Troopers coordinated their movements, closed in, and used pit maneuvers to disable the Camry. After multiple impacts between the patrol vehicles and the suspect vehicle, FHP units were finally able to force the Camry to a stop on SR 82. The pursuit ended at approximately 3:45 a.m., and the driver was removed from the vehicle, subdued, and placed in handcuffs at the scene.
Get the fuck in the car!
The driver was identified as 21-year-old Vladimir Domingo Lopez, a Lee County resident. When officers approached, they noted signs of impairment, including slurred speech, red eyes, and a strong odor of alcohol. Inside the vehicle, police found multiple open bottles of alcohol. Breath tests recorded results of 0.135 and 0.134, nearly twice Florida's legal limit of 0.08. The pursuit and the impacts left 3 FHP patrol vehicles damaged, but no serious injuries were reported. Lopez faced charges including high-speed fleeing, DUI with property damage, reckless driving with property damage, speeding more than 50 miles per hour over the limit, and violating open container laws inside a vehicle. A Camry running 100 miles per hour before dawn turned into a short but violent pursuit, ending with multiple PIT maneuvers, 3 damaged patrol vehicles, and a serious DUI case. On the 1st of February 2025, in Atlanta, Georgia, Officers with the Atlanta Police Department's Zone 4 Crime Suppression Team received information about a vehicle connected to an armed robbery in Hapeville. After checking the area, patrol officers located the vehicle near Dodson Road and Ben Hill Road, then activated their lights and siren to initiate a traffic stop.
Alright, we're southbound, stand by for a second.
At first, the vehicle appeared to slow down and stop in response to the officer's commands. However, as the officers prepared to approach, the driver suddenly accelerated and fled. Because the vehicle was connected to an armed robbery, officers immediately initiated a pursuit to prevent it from continuing to pose a danger on the road.
Attempted 10. We're still southbound. We're going to be in front of the Georgia International Convention Center. Show our name. 16 alcohol. 16 alcohol. Show our name. 16 alcohol. 16 alcohol.
During the pursuit, an officer performed a PIT maneuver, causing the suspect vehicle to spin out and become disabled. As soon as the vehicle stopped, one occupant opened the door and ran into a nearby area, but officers chased after him and took him into custody. The other occupant remained inside the vehicle and was quickly approached, detained, and placed in handcuffs at the scene. The two people arrested were identified as 34-year-old Datavius Waller and 34-year-old Juwan McKinnon. After the arrest, both suspects, along with the vehicle and related evidence, were turned over to the Hapeville Police Department, the agency handling the original robbery investigation. The two suspects faced charges related to armed robbery, fleeing or resisting arrest, and reckless driving. A vehicle suspected of being connected to an armed robbery turned a traffic stop in Atlanta into a short pursuit, ending with a pit maneuver and two suspects arrested at the scene. In Fort Lupton, Colorado, near the intersection of U.S. Highway 85 and County Road 38, a traffic stop connected to a report of a possible road rage incident involving a firearm led to a serious incident. An officer with the Platteville Police Department stopped a vehicle driven by a 20-year-old woman, and officers with the Fort Lupton Police Department later arrived to assist. The woman was placed in handcuffs and put in the back seat of the Platteville patrol vehicle, but that patrol vehicle had been parked directly on active railroad tracks.
No, ma'am, but can I please get my cell phone? We'll get your cell phone in a second. Is there any weapons in the car? No, ma'am, there's nothing. There's no weapons in the car? Okay. What's going on? Ma'am, what's going on? I'll tell you in a second. I'm so confused. Can I take a seat? I will get your cell phone for you. Take a seat.
She could have out that window, but is that Hart?
No, that's Tom check. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Move your car! Stay back!
While the officers focused on searching the pickup truck for a weapon, the sound of a train horn began to ring out. Body cam footage captured the moment the officers realized a freight train was coming toward them, but by then, there was no longer enough time to get the detained woman out of the patrol vehicle. The woman remained handcuffed in the back seat and could not escape on her own.
Watch the fence. There may still be a firearm in the vehicle. I don't know if you guys have been through it yet.
The freight train slammed directly into the patrol vehicle, knocking it off the tracks with tremendous force. Rescue crews were then called in to remove the victim from the destroyed vehicle. Although she survived, she suffered serious injuries, including multiple broken ribs and a fractured sternum, and was taken to the hospital for treatment. The victim was identified as 20-year-old Maria Rios Gonzalez. During the search of the pickup truck, police found a bullet, a holster, and later recovered a firearm. The Colorado Bureau of Investigation, or CBI, took over the investigation. The Platteville Police Department officer connected to the patrol vehicle that was struck by the train was placed on suspension during the review. The incident raised serious questions about scene safety. A handcuffed woman who could not escape on her own had been left inside a patrol vehicle parked on railroad tracks, moments before a train came barreling toward it. On Saturday afternoon, in the Magnolia area of Seattle, Washington, police received a report of a theft from a parked vehicle. The man was suspected of stealing a wallet from inside the victim's vehicle, then quickly getting into a reported stolen car to leave the scene. While fleeing, the driver took the stolen vehicle through streets in the area. Not long after, the vehicle crashed hard into another car that was traveling lawfully on the road. The impact caused the suspect's vehicle to overturn and catch fire, creating a dangerous situation for both the people inside the vehicle and others nearby.
Crash into the vehicle on Magnolia Boulevard West, 43rd West, overturned vehicle, and fire police.
After the crash, the man crawled out of the burning vehicle and continued running on foot to escape police. Officers with the Seattle Police Department immediately gave chase and quickly took him into custody near the area of 44th Avenue West. The suspect was placed in handcuffs at the scene while authorities secured the crash area and handled the burned vehicle. The suspect was taken to Harborview Medical Center for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries after the rollover crash and fire. The stolen wallet was recovered so it could be returned to the victim. Detectives said the suspect may be connected to several other thefts in the area. What began as a quick wallet theft turned into a fiery rollover crash, then ended with a short foot chase on the streets of Seattle. At 11:41 a.m. on the 10th of July, 2025, on westbound SR 408 near mile marker 13 inches, Orlando, Florida, Sergeant Lanza and Auxiliary Sergeant Impellizzeri with the Florida Highway Patrol spotted a gray Mercedes GLC with Florida plate RLTI 37 for dark window tint and speeding. A Stalker DSR 2X radar recorded the vehicle traveling 92 miles per hour in a 60 miles per hour zone. When FHP patrol vehicle FHP 0216 activated its lights and siren to initiate a traffic stop, the driver refused to comply and accelerated away. During the pursuit, the Mercedes repeatedly drove on the shoulder to pass vehicles, made dangerous lane changes, and cut across traffic at speeds over 100 miles per hour. At one point, the SUV reached 135 miles per hour, creating a serious crash risk for surrounding vehicles on SR 408. At around 11:44 a.m. near mile marker 7, the Mercedes lost control, veered to the left, and slammed into the concrete median, heavily damaging the left side wheel assembly. As Sergeant Lanza moved in to end the pursuit, the driver suddenly braked in front of the patrol vehicle, causing the Mercedes to spin and strike the concrete barrier again. The patrol vehicle then continued pressing against the right side of the Mercedes, forcing it to come to a complete stop against the right side guardrail. The driver opened the door and ran on foot toward Pine Hills, but he was chased, ordered to the ground, and placed in handcuffs at 11:46 a.m.
Get on the ground, bro. Show me 98 miles south. If it's one that way, how 5041, 1715. So arrest you for, I'll take a phone, more away, please. Chris, you want me down there, way? Good night, left. It's 1541 if you want to bring the patrol car up to the location. Reference 1054, stay with the vehicle, block the lane. Make sure nobody's injured if you hit anybody else.
The driver was identified as Darius Demetrius Lowe. A check through NCIC FCIC confirmed that Lowe was out on bond from a previous case involving fleeing from police causing serious injury or death. While being escorted, Lowe stated that he had illegal substances in his pants pocket, then tried to drop a plastic bag containing multiple pills near the base of a tree, but officers noticed it. After he was read his Miranda rights, police recovered $3,877 in cash, 27 suspected fentanyl pills weighing approximately 10.3 grams, a Glock-style gun lighter, and 2 small bags of suspected marijuana from inside the vehicle. The evidence was sealed and transferred to the Troop D Orlando Evidence Storage Facility. Lowe faced multiple charges related to high-speed fleeing, drugs, concealing evidence, and traffic violations. A speeding violation on SR 408 turned into a 135 miles per hour pursuit, ending with a concrete barrier crash, a vehicle pin-in, and an arrest after a short foot chase. At approximately 3:53 p.m. on the 11th of May 2025, the Fort Myers Regional Communications Center issued a BOLO from the Lee County Sheriff's Office for a black Mitsubishi Eclipse with Florida plate 74ACPS, which had just been taken in an armed carjacking near Bell Boulevard in Fort Myers. While monitoring traffic on 175, SR 93 near mile marker 100, patrol units spotted a Mitsubishi matching the description as it passed through the toll plaza and began following it to confirm the vehicle. After running the plate and confirming it was the vehicle from case 25250-129, the officer attempted to initiate a traffic stop near mile marker 91. However, the driver refused to comply and accelerated away. The Mitsubishi repeatedly changed lanes, drove on the shoulder, tailgated other vehicles, and forced drivers to brake hard, at times reaching speeds of up to 130 miles per hour in heavy traffic on I-75. The pursuit continued toward mile marker 80 and then mile marker 79, where the Collier County Sheriff's Office had deployed a blocking device. As the driver tried to avoid the obstacles, he swerved sharply to the left, causing the Mitsubishi to leave the roadway and crash into the cable barrier system. The vehicle spun several times through the cable barrier area before coming to a stop, partially blocking the left lane. Both occupants were then ordered out of the vehicle, told to lie on the ground, and placed in handcuffs at the scene. The two people arrested were identified as Stacy Rebecca Leah and Pryor Miranda Lee. Due to the seriousness of the crash, an EMS helicopter was called to transport both of them to Gulf Coast Medical Center in Fort Myers for medical evaluation. During the pursuit, Deputy Korpolinski #4166 saw a black object being thrown from the passenger side window near mile marker 90.2. The object was later recovered and identified as a black and dark gray Smith & Wesson .32, loaded with 4 rounds inside a black holster. Corporal Martin #794 seized the firearm as evidence, while the Mitsubishi was towed and placed on hold. A bolo for an armed carjacking vehicle turned into a 130 miles per hour pursuit on I-75, ending with a crash into the cable barrier and 2 suspects taken into custody. Late in the morning, on the 4th of May 2019, in San Jose, California, police investigated a chain of events that began when a man stole the personal vehicle of a female sheriff's deputy while it was parked outside her home. About an hour later, the same man was captured on security camera during another theft. The San Jose Police Department later located the stolen vehicle inside the parking garage of an apartment complex on Colmar Drive.
Yeah, I got it. Rear's clear.
Efren Esquivel.
Watch it.
When officers surrounded the vehicle and ordered the driver to turn off the engine and step out, he refused to comply. Instead, he hit the gas, rammed the stolen vehicle into patrol cars, and tried to force his way out of the containment. Before driving forward, he reportedly yelled that police would have to shoot or kill him.
Watch it. Watch out for it. Stop! If he comes towards us, we're going. Stop!
The situation escalated when the vehicle drove toward the officers and struck Sergeant James Mason, pinning him between the stolen vehicle and a nearby parked vehicle. Sergeant Mason suffered serious injuries to his shoulder and several other areas. To stop the vehicle from continuing to endanger Mason and the other officers, 3 officers at the scene, Aaron Alvarez, Edward Carboni, and James Mason, fired through the windshield. The driver was struck by gunfire and died at the scene.